Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I am super excited to chat with you guys tonight. You get me. Last week we had a guest speaker, but the rest of the month, you get me. So we're diving in with Instagram stories tonight, though. And basically this month, I've really been kind of peeking at, let me get this to the top, sorry. I've been peeking and really considering where our team's at, where you guys, the ones who are showing up on a week-to-week basis with me on Mondays, who are hungry to learn, where you're at, and how I can fill the gap to get you to the next place. I think it's pretty safe to say that everybody who's on the call right now or checking out the recording, we are on Instagram stories. You guys are working your business in some capacity on Instagram stories. So my heart tonight is to teach you guys some of my tips and tricks to show you how I build relationships, how I build connection, and just how I make my stories stand out just a little bit among the crowd, because Instagram, social media, it can be noisy, right? Before we do that, though, I want to do Team Cup shout outs. Our goal this month, you guys, is to help 45 people at a minimum, okay? And what we all committed to, this is all wonky, by the way. I don't know why it did this. It was not like that on the screen, but Raquel, girlfriend, I'm so sorry. These should be slid down. My Y should be up here. All this should be, it's just not right. But you get where I'm going with that. But the idea, you guys, is I was like, you know what? I want to put 3 hearts next to everybody's name. In the past, when we've done Team Cup, I've been like, everybody's trying to help 3 people, And I've decided to change my verbiage. We're not trying to help 3 people. There are 15 coaches on Inspire Beauty out of the 100 something we have, right? There are only 15 of us who said, I'm going to help 3 people in February. And that's it. And I think that this graphic simplifies it. It shows you that there's just 3 hearts next to your name at a minimum that need to get filled this month. And maybe you've already filled 1, and that's amazing. And I hope that this encourages you, that it's like, oh, I only have to fill 2 more, right? Or I only have to fill 1 more, or once they all get filled in, I filled all my hearts in. And then you just have this confidence after that you can help really 3 people, turns into I can help 4, turns into I can help 5, turns into I can help as many people as needed, right? And so I want you to look at this chart and not see it as like an emptiness or a lack, but I want you to see it as an opportunity for where you can step in and help change people's lives in February. We all committed to helping 3, because I know that beauty knockouts, level up beauties, the Fab 5, I'm pretty sure all of us have agreed that we want that bag, but that bag doesn't come without everybody on your team helping 3 people, right? And so that's your goal. So if you're looking at your standing right now and you see, there's some bare hearts or there's hearts to be filled, just know that that's an opportunity for you to get out there and serve people and to ask the question, hey, have you ever considered joining me? I think you'd love the vibe of this group that I'm in, right? And when it comes off like that, it's so authentic and so genuine, never icky, right? Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about making your Instagram story stand out. And tonight, if you're like, ooh, she's going to tell me how I can invite people better from my story, I'm actually going to do the complete opposite of that. I'm not actually going to talk about inviting off your story. I'm going to talk about everything else that I think we're missing. Because when I go to your stories and I watch, first of all, I love and appreciate that you're out there on your stories day in and day out, sharing your journey. That takes audacity, that takes courage, that takes boldness. And so I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I want you tonight to be able to walk away to say, I have more I can even give from here, right? That the stuff you're giving right now is probably, you've gotten comfortable with it. And now I'm going to encourage you tonight to stretch yourself. So I've got 5 tips and some things along the way that we'll kind of look at as examples. So tip number 1, when we're looking at anything on social media, we want to always talk about, who we are with it and our brand around it. So I say 5, it doesn't have to be 5, but 5-ish things that you want people to gain from watching your story daily. Most everybody on here, your followers are gaining inspiration to start their fitness journey. I guarantee it. They're sitting on their couch, they're not working out, they might have confidence issues happening, or we don't even know what's going on in a lot of people's stories, right? like their actual in-person life stories. But then they sit down and they watch you, and you're offering a glimmer of hope and motivation and inspiration that maybe, just maybe, they can do what you're doing too, right? I think we're all doing that. But there should be more to you than just your workouts. I know there's more to all of you than your workouts. In fact, I love all of you so dearly, regardless of your workouts. Like working out, if you guys came to my house, we'd of course work out together. That would be one thing we would do together for sure. But I'd also probably spend some time with you with other things. For example, when the Diamond Retreat happened at my house, we worked out, but we also ordered pizza and had champagne. We had a pajama party and played games in my living room. We played with Frankie. Charlie was here for a hot second before he had to leave town. We went to Magnolia and we like did all the like white girl things down at Magnolia, and ate cupcakes. We went out for margaritas at night, and we went to a brewery because that's Amanda's jam. Like there are things that we did that were parts of us that were so beyond workouts and shakes. It's just a small glimmer. So when people come to my story, I want them to tune in for these 5 reasons. Okay, for me, it's this. It's spiritual encouragement. No matter where they are in their walk, I want them to be encouraged that there is some spiritual guidance out there that they can put their hope in that is not this world. I also want people to come to me for self-care inspiration in all things. Rest is part of self-care. The way we speak to ourselves and mindset, self-care. Fitness, absolutely self-care. I love sharing whenever I'm taking a bath in my bath bombs, self-care. One thing I also love is sharing what meals I'm cooking, meals that I'm giving to our self-care sisterhood, recipes that I have, new recipes I'm trying. That's the thing that I really love doing. If that's not what you love doing, start looking at what do you do throughout the week? Like what are your go-tos? Maybe you order Blue Apron box, and that's your go-to every week for quick weeknight meals to kind of keep yourself on track and get your family at least a fresh cooked meal, once, twice, 3 times a week. Maybe that's your thing. Or maybe you have a really specific way of how you prep breakfast in the morning or how you get your snacks ready for the week. Think about the things that you do without even thinking about it, because these are the things that your followers are going to want to learn from you. I also give life updates. Again, like we kind of started before I hit record, your life is going to change and evolve. My life 6 years ago when I started my business did not include Frankie. He was not even a thought. Did not include Charlie. He also was not a thought. Did not include building a home. Definitely not a thought. So the things that I share in my life right now are very relevant to where I am in my life. And those will continue to evolve as I do, right? So think about your life. And for me, my last thing is motivation. I always want to motivate women that they're made for more. That oftentimes we're not living the potential that we actually have inside of us, and that we're settling for some sort of mediocrity or comfort zone, and really that we were made for greatness, right? And so I want people to be motivated by that when they watch my story. So these are the 5 things for me. Hopefully you've kind of had your brain spinning a little and you've been able to jot some down, but you can share in the chat too with everybody. What are some of the 5 things that you want people to gain when they're watching your story that are not Beachbody, that aren't your workouts? And feel free to share those. Because I would love, I'm not going to click on it right now, but I would love to go back and read through those at the end. So my next tip, you guys, is start with the end in mind. When we're on Instagram story, and I was sharing this with my Diamond leaders today, because they were talking about coach sneak peeks. And I said, well, what's your goal? Like when you're hosting this sneak peek, what's your goal at the end? How many coaches do you want to recruit by the end of it? And they're like, oh, well, we hadn't really thought of that. And I think sometimes we forget about the end goal, right? So when I start my stories this week, I think about a week at a time, right? And this week, I've already invited to my February theme, Love the Skin You're In. That was kind of like the end of January, top of February, I was inviting to that. And now I'm in this like weird middle week of February. For me in my personal calendar, this week is where I'm really doing more connections. I want people to I don't want people to be blasted always with an invite when they open up their story and see, oh gosh, Brittany, skip past her. She's just going to invite me to her next group. I don't want them to know. I don't want it to feel calculated like, oh, she's just inviting, right? I don't want it to feel like that when they open up their stories. So This week, it's kind of a little breath of fresh air and a little break from that. And I'm just going to be transitioning into more connection building stuff. I'll share with you in a second what that looks like. But then coming into next week, I want to start talking about coaching. I want people to get interested in our mentorship for March and to be joining us as new coaches coming in at the end of February, top of March, and I can walk and mentor them and guide them in that month. And so my story is going to start to shift, and my end goal is to recruit for coaching, right? So you have to ask yourself, what is my end goal? What am I trying to achieve? What do you want to achieve in your business this week? Maybe you don't have those 3 hearts filled in yet, and you're like, I need to help 3 people. Then that's your end goal. So every time you start to post stories, think about your end goal. That's what I'm trying to achieve, is I want somebody to be motivated to want to say yes. People aren't motivated, by the way, to say yes because you tell them how much a pack costs, because you tell them, about the 30-minute workouts, or because you tell them that they get a month of Shakeology when they buy that pack. They're not going to join you because of that, you guys. I want you, when your end goal is to get to 3 yeses, you want to think about the pain points it takes somebody to want to join you, right? So the fact that, when you're talking about the price of the pack, well, maybe you want to compare it to the price of other gyms around you. I had a huge epiphany in my business, you guys, when I worked at Orange Theory Fitness for a stint of time. And Orange Theory Fitness in California, their memberships, I hope you're hearing this, you guys. Their monthly, yes, I should back up. Their monthly memberships were $180 in San Jose, California for 1 month. And that's 1 hour of fitness a day. Okay, they're only allowed to take 1 class. Even though it's an unlimited membership, you get to take 1 a day, right? Because it's not healthy to probably take more than 1 a day. So ultimately, you could only take 1 class a day, 1 hour of your day, potentially 7 days a week for the whole month, and that's $180. And that comes with no nutrition, and there's no support for the other 23 hours of the day. There's support for 1 hour while you're in that class, but the other 23 hours of the day, there's no support. People paid $180 a month. People paid it every month because it's an auto renewal. So they would pay 180, 180, 180, 180, 180. Oh, and they paid this. They paid this. Do you know that up 1 hour north in San Francisco, memberships aren't 180, but rather they're $280 a month? When I had to sell, and I had to sell those memberships, you guys, I had to physically sell them. Guess what? I got real good at selling Beachbody after that. You know why? Because I no longer apologize for the price point, because I knew. And so that's something I can talk about in my stories is how I know how much this boutique fitness costs. And I can give you such a different and better experience, a more enhanced experience that encompasses all of it: fitness, nutrition, support, for a fraction of that price, right? So thinking about the pain point of somebody. If price is the pain point, don't just talk about the price and like put a slash through it, like, it's on sale. No, I got a $10 promo code. No, like that's not going to get somebody to say yes. What is going to be digging into their pain point. Talking about if they've ever had a membership where they paid $180 a month, month after month after month, and they didn't get the results that they wanted. And it got frustrating, right? Here's the deal. If what you're doing every week, week after week after week, if you're posting your workout, you got your unicorn juice, and then you do your workout, and then after the workout, you got your selfie or whatever, and you're like, who wants to join me? And it's not producing anybody, then it's insanity, my friends, right? So this is the coolest part about this business, is if you realize what you're doing in your story isn't working, you have the power to change it because you are the problem. And you become the solution by realizing that, right? So that's the cool part, is that anytime I feel like in my business, what I'm doing in my story or in my feed or even in the team isn't working, I can course correct. I don't have to just keep doing it over and over and over again and hoping it'll finally come together, right? Okay, so start with the end in mind. Every time you sit down this week to do your story, I want you to ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve? What is my end goal? And how can I get there? Okay? Tip 3, you guys, is when we know this end goal in mind, we can slow down a little bit. This is like a little secret I want to let you in on. You might not realize, but you don't actually have to post right away. when you guys see me post my my devotion study in the morning, and maybe my energize and my personal development, and then maybe my little workout clips, do you realize that that's probably hours after all that's actually happened? Nobody knows. You guys are too busy to worry about that. You're just like, oh, Brittany did a workout, cool, right? We're not like, wait a second, it's 6:18 p.m. You know, like no one's, and if they are, like they need a life, like if they really know. But the thing is, you don't have to post right away. So gather your content. What I do in the morning is I'll take a picture of my devotion, and then I put my phone down and I have it, it's saved, right? Or I'll do my workout and I'll take a couple clips of my workout, or I'll video my workout and I'll save it. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back later. Because it's easier to tell a story also in reverse than trying to piece it together. For example, if I took a picture of my devotional, because this is kind of the progression usually like my morning goes, I'll take a picture of like my devotional, and then let's say I immediately upload it, and I don't really have anything inspiring yet to say because I'm still a little groggy, I'm still a little sleepy, but I just want to show everybody that I'm awake and I'm doing my thing, okay? And then 2 seconds later, I kind of do like a boomerang of me and my Energize. Energize is kicking in, right? And then I am doing my workout in live time, and so I have a clip, and you know I'm on a water break, so I just upload the clip, and I don't really have time to do much, so I just kind of put like one little GIF next to it or one little emoji next to it, and then I get to the end of it, and it's like it's kind of like life casting. Like all I did was I'm like Kim Kardashian. I'm just sharing what I'm doing in my life. I'm not like Kim Kardashian. She has so many followers. Oh, I'm not that level. Oh, I totally just put myself on the same level. But you get the drift. Like I'm not like she's of the level that she can tell us that she wiped her nose today, and like, oh my gosh, I'd be infatuated by that story. Nobody cares about that from us, you guys. We are way too normal for that, right? So we have to be strategic. So rather than post all of those things, right, save them, do your behaviors, take the pictures, document it. But then when you have a 10-minute window where you can sit down and put it together in a thoughtful manner, for example, maybe you're rushing in the morning and you do it all. You get ready, you get in the car, you drive to work. And once you get to work, you have 10 minutes where you could just sit in the parking lot really quick. Like you get there a little early so you can just sit in the parking lot. And that would be a great time. Because then you've been able to gather your thoughts and you can put it together in a cohesive manner. Asking yourself some things. Is today a day that you want to invite people? Because if I want to invite people on Monday, then I probably should have posted something on Sunday that would allow me to invite them on Monday, right? Because it's like a delayed thing. Like I want people to be able to see it. What day do you want to give value and build relationships? I know on Thursday I'm going to go get my nails done. So I already know, you guys, mark my word, on Wednesday, I'm going to be asking everybody what color nails they think I should do. Why? Because people love giving their opinions, and this is a way for me to have a decent conversation with them where they realize I'm a real normal person and not just this like person on Instagram that doesn't seem real, right? So if you desire to invite on Monday, like if that's like a day, like, okay, Monday, I'm always like ready to go. I want to send out lots of invites on Monday. Well, then you've got to get in the habit of on Sunday, how do you piece together your story so that you're ready to invite based off of that on Monday? Okay. Number 4, 3% of your followers, you guys, are actually seeing your story. So if you have 100 followers on Instagram, then I promise you there's probably only 3 people viewing your story on a daily basis. So when you're like, I need to get my viewers up on my story, well, unfortunately, Instagram has algorithms. And truthfully, even the top influencers, only a fraction, only a percentage of their followers are actually seeing their content. The same is true for you. So when you're like, I've invited everybody, but really what you mean is you invited the 10 people that are watching your story every day, then you haven't invited everybody. You need to figure out a way to get those other eyes to your story or get into their inbox in their story so that you can start building relationships, right? So this is also why building relationships and drawing attention back to my story is key. So if somebody were to not see my story, a lot of times if I get in their inbox, all of a sudden I notice that they've watched my story, right? So that might be an easy way. If there's like people that, aren't viewing it, go watch other people's stories. And then more than likely now they're going to start seeing your story because Instagram's like, oh, these people like each other. They want to interact, right? The other question I have is your story a place where people feel like they know you? So when only this tiny percentage of people are actually seeing your story, are they actually knowing who you are, or are they just getting a glimpse of your morning routine? Are they just getting a glimpse of your workout program, right? The golden rule is to treat others how you desire to be treated. So if you want others to interact with your story, go and interact with their stories. One thing I love to do is I like to swipe over, I guess I go to the left with my finger from right to left. And I go to like the end of story viewers and I start watching from the end forward. Because those are people that I might not often see because Instagram doesn't think I care about them. So the people who, when you open up your Instagram immediately, the people who appear first in your story sequence are the people that Instagram believes you value the most, maybe based on your interactions or how they're interacting with you. So to get to those people that you often don't see and to try to bring them into your story, you got to get to the end. So I like to start from the end and go forward. To get others not only just interacting with their story, but to get them to watch mine too. Also, what can you do to want people to come to your story daily? What are they missing if they don't see you? If I don't see you, is somebody saying, oh, I got to get to so-and-so's story because I want to see what the dog's doing today, right? Oh, I got to get to so-and-so's story because I want to see what the kid's doing today. It's okay if the main reason they watch your story is for your dog. Hello, that's why most people watch my story. And that's the only reason I put Frankie in my story as often as I do is because I'm like baiting people, right? They want to see Frankie, so they come there just in case, they're going to miss out if they don't watch my story. And in turn, they end up watching all this other stuff. And if they see it enough times, you guys, it's like they're getting brainwashed into believing that maybe they can do this too, which is what I want them to start believing. You can also boost engagement with poll stickers, emoji sliders, stickers, get to know you quizzes. But I want to show you how I'm using them that is different, I think, than maybe what we're generally seeing. A lot of times with poll stickers, who here, like you can raise your hand or, drop something in the chat if I can't see your hand, but who uses poll stickers to invite to their group, like who wants more information? Yes or heck yes, and nobody takes the poll. Yeah, except for like that weird bot that took your poll who's got like 74,000 followers. And you're like, you don't want more information. That's weird. Yeah. Okay. Let's not do poll stickers for asking about our group then. We want to teach people that it's okay to take our poll. And a lot of times they don't want to take the poll because they don't want more info. They might want more info, but they don't want to take the poll for more info because they don't want to get stuck now in this whole like, oh, I told her I wanted info, but I don't really want info, but now right? Like you've been there. You want the info, but you don't want to go through the process of what it takes to get to it. So instead, boost engagement by using these to actually get people to do what you want them to do, which is engage with you, okay? One time this summer, Charlie and I went and we saw the new Aladdin, and so I used that as a poll opportunity, you guys, and I had so many people take this stinking poll. It was great, right? One thing I did this last summer, I haven't done it in a hot minute, but I do want to bring it back, is I would do quizzes. And I would ask people, like random things about me. So this one right here was my favorite TV show is I Don't Watch TV, Fixer Upper, The Office. And so like you're just doing fun getting to know you things where people are like actually seeing if you're relatable. So there were a lot of people like, they would take this poll and let's say that they did Fixer Upper. I don't remember what I said my favorite was. I think I might have said the Office. I don't remember right now. But let's say that they took they answered Fixer Upper. Well, I could then get in their inbox after I see they did that and say, oh my gosh, I freaking love Fixer Upper. Like Joanna is freaking life goals. And I mean, straight up, we watch it all the time since we're building our house. But I got to give me some Michael Scott some love. I love The Office. What's your favorite TV show? Like I could get in there and have a dialogue with them, right? Because now we have some commonality. Okay, same thing with Aladdin. What does it say? Not yet, but I wanna. And so we saw Aladdin. So the people that said, yep, they saw it already. I could get in their inbox and be like, oh my gosh, it was so good. Will freaking Smith rocked it. And we could have dialogue about it, right? And the people that said not yet, I could get in there and I could like spoil it for them. No, I'm just kidding. But I could get in there and have some dialogue, like, do it. You totally need to go see it, right? And then they know I'm a human being because I'm not just this Beachbody robot. Okay, another thing that I will do is in my morning routine, I'm always doing like my gratitude and my 10 dreams I made happen. So instead of just having my followers watch me do gratitude, I ask them, what are you grateful for today? And the coolest thing is I can share those answers if I feel like sharing them later in the day, but I can also build deep connection with people. When they tell me something that they're grateful for, guys, that's a vulnerable piece of somebody's heart to share. I'm grateful for this, right? And when they do that, that offers a genuine conversation for us to have. Same thing with my devotion. A lot of times I'll just post my devotion and I get asked questions in my morning time, but I don't pose those to my followers. And so I got the idea, why don't I start asking my followers the questions I'm answering, right? So that they're kind of doing it with me. And so one of the questions I had the other day was, when has God provided something that reminded you he is faithful? And so I put that question up and I answered it for my followers so they could get to know me a little bit better too. So they got a taste of what my devotion is like. Guys, that's one of the number one questions I get aside from recipes and meals is what devotion I'm doing or anything spiritual based. Like those are the top two things is food, God, that people ask me about, not Beachbody. But it's through those conversations about what I'm cooking or what I'm doing with my devotion that people believe that they know me, that they like me, that I'm trustworthy. And that's when it bridges into joining my challenge group, right? So then when I say, hey, who wants information, more people are prone to come to me because I'm spending time on the front end doing a lot of this extra work, right? And I say extra work, but to me, it's fun and fulfilling because I get to know these people before they become my client. We become friends, right? The other day I sent out a recipe. So just some more examples, you guys. I sent out a recipe to everybody who's been on the fence. So anybody who hadn't joined yet, I sent out an email to them. And in the email, I said, regardless if you join or not, I want you to know I love you. And so here's a recipe for Valentine's Day. It was a red velvet cupcake recipe from Fixate. I literally stole it from Beachbody, you guys. Like even the graphic, this graphic's from Beachbody. Like it's all from Beachbody, okay? But I zhuzhed it up, made it look really pretty, and I sent it in my inbox. Even if you don't join, here's a gift from me. I was sharing with Amanda earlier that there's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Jab, 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 like punch, right hook. It's by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's really good. If you've never read it or listened to it, I highly encourage you to do so because it talks about the idea that for every 3 jabs, that's when we can give a right hook. A jab meaning value, offering value to somebody, and then the right hook meaning I'm asking or inviting them to do something, right? So me giving them a red velvet cupcake recipe is an example of a jab. I'm giving you value. I just want you to know I care about you. And I found this recipe, and regardless if you join or not this month, if it's not the right time, here's this, enjoy, let me know if you make it. I always tell people that, let me know if you make the recipe. I want to hear what you thought of it, right? So I sent that out to everybody. The next slide over, I put didn't get the recipe, meaning they're probably not on my email list, right? Drop your email and I'll send it your way. Boom, 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 boom. You guys collect people's emails. It's such a big deal. Collect people's emails. If there's like one thing you take away from today, collect people's emails, because if Instagram decides tomorrow that they want to go away or Facebook decides that they want to shut down, how are you going to contact people and keep doing your business? Have you ever considered that? What if Instagram, like there's been times when Instagram goes down for the day and anybody who doesn't do anything other than solely work their business via Instagram, like they all freaked out. But when that day happened, this was like sometime this past year. I remember when that day happened, Instagram was like down for the day. I was like, what? How? Oh my gosh, what is life? I emailed all my people. Life went on. My business kept going because I have people's emails. Because anytime they say they want information about my group or to join our Inspire Beauty, our team, or join a free group or whatever, I get their email so that I can send them stuff like this and then occasionally send them a right hook and invite them to join my next group. So anybody who didn't get the recipe, drop your email and I'll send it your way. So then they could put the email there. Oh, these are my favorite, you guys. And I'm getting ready. I do it every time I get ready to do my nails. And truth be told, you guys, I don't need anybody's help in what color I'm going to pick out because I probably already know, right? Just like if I was like, hey, which dress should I wear? I probably already know in my heart of hearts what dress I want to wear. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want interaction. I want engagement. And one of the things that I can't even tell you guys that day, I was like scrolling of how many people replied about the color of nail polish they wanted me to do. And I'm pretty sure I did the one that nobody even picked. But I just put, friends, I need your help today. And I made this little collage. You guys, I screenshot these from Pinterest. That's where I found the nail colors, Pinterest. I screenshotted them. And then after I screenshot them, I uploaded them into my favorite app for stories, which is called, it's called Unfold. It's that white one right there. It's got like a little black paper something or other. It's called Unfold. And that's what I use. And so I literally just took those screenshots. I put them into a 4-thing collage on Unfold. Nothing crazy. I don't pay for any upgrades on this app. Everything I do on this app is free. And then I just used Instagram's text features. And I did one in black, one in white. And then I uploaded it a second time and put like the A, B, C, D. And then ask which one they love with the question box. And so I got their attention on the first slide. Friends, I need your help today. Which one do you love? Oh my gosh. Now they're going to pause. Now they're stopping. You know, they're not going to scroll past me. Now they're going to look at what I'm showing in my story. And then when they get to the next one, it offers them a chance to voice their opinion. And people love giving their opinion. And so it offered engagement. Every single person, though, here's the deal, you guys. This doesn't work if you just do this and then walk away. And you're like, oh my God, 17 people took my poll today. And then you don't even talk to them. The purpose of this is so tomorrow, when I'm coming back to the story at about the 22-hour mark, 23-hour mark, where it's about to die and go away, right? I'm going to come back to this story, and I'm going to message every single one of those people and say, oh my gosh, I freaking love C. Isn't it gorgeous? Even if I didn't pick it. Or I could come back if I've already gotten my nails done and say, oh my gosh, I freaking love C. It's such a pretty color, but I ended up going with D. Maybe I'll do C next month, right? And so, like, it just offers a chance for me to get in there and be a human that's not this, like, inviting robot. Then when I go to invite somebody, this was a conversation, again, Amanda and I were just having before this call. When I go to invite somebody, it's not weird at all because I'm already like, they already know me. They know a lot about me, right? And I'm offering them into snippets of my life so that they feel like they're a part of my life already and kind of like a little bit of part of my circle, so that when I invite them to be a part of like this innermost circle, they're much more prone to say, yeah, I'd love some information, right? It doesn't mean that they join. It doesn't mean that they buy a challenge pack that day, right? No, but the connection is there. And once you have somebody's like loyal connection, that's so important. That's so important. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Yeah, one more. Okay, so I also like to, after I post something, put it in my story. But rather than just put it in my story and leave it, I want people to go to my post and bring more engagement there. So the other day, I built some curiosity around what this was. A lot of times, you guys, if you tap it, when you click share to story from your phone, so when you post, let me slow down and back up. When you post on Instagram, there's your heart to like it, there's a comment, message, and then there's the paper plane. When you click on the paper plane, you can share it to your story. So I click on that paper plane, I share it to my story, I click share to story, and when it opens up in my story, I can tap it once and it'll bring up like the top part of the caption. Or if I tap it and just leave it regular, it'll just be the square with like my handle there at the bottom. I like to do that so that people can't read what this first thing is, because I want to write something to build intrigue and curiosity so that they go to it. So for this one, I put, for the woman who wonders if God loves her, notices her, or even cares. For the woman who doesn't feel like she belongs in church, and I put an arrow. So if somebody's reading this and like, oh my gosh, that's kind of me right now. Curious, I want to tap on that. Instagram likes to see where people are clicking. The more I keep somebody in my story and keep them clicking on my content, the more Instagram's going to say this person wants to see more of Brittany, right? So the more you can keep somebody on your content, the better. Yeah. So if they click out of my story and go to my post, Instagram, their algorithm will notice that, and it will pick up on that they like, and then all of a sudden I might be in their feed more. They're going to see my story more often, all that good stuff. Today I did this, and I covered up my face, put a little intrigue around like, what's this picture really, right? And I asked the question, how many times do you think I ate pizza this week? Well, I don't know, but I kind of want to know how many times, right? And so I ask a question, or I say something that builds curiosity so that somebody is going to want to leave their story scroll and jump and go into my post, right? Okay, so those are just a couple tips, you guys. The whole point of this was that not everybody's seeing everything. So how do we keep people in our stories longer? How do we keep people engaging with our stories more? These are all my best ways. And none of these include an invite. None of these include an invite. Because I promise you right now in 2020, if you just put it, right here, drop your email if you want to join my group, or who wants to join my group? Yes, or heck yes. You're not going to get the answer you really want. But if you start doing stuff like this, you're going to build the engagement, you're going to start building the connections, and then it's easier to then bridge into the conversation about your group, or the fact that this person would love, if their eyes are still in my story too, you guys, let's say I talked to them about my nails, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks. I really love C2, but I ended up going with D. How's your week going? And then they reply. And then tomorrow I see that they watched my workout video. Well, yesterday we built a connection. We talked about how their week's going, left it at that. Now the next day they're seeing my workout post. I say, hey girl, we've got some other women starting on Monday. Would you want to do this with them? I'd love to send you the info. And it comes out so much more organically when you invite that way, right? Because we already had a conversation and a connection going. Okay, my last tip here. Did you know that only 40% of Instagram story viewers have their sound on? Do you know that? Think about when you're watching, and especially when you're watching around people, potentially children that you don't want to hear, or maybe you guys are watching, you and your spouse are watching TV and you're really listening to that, but you're kind of like numbing yourself out by watching your story. Usually the sound is off. So in general, you're watching, and if somebody just keeps talking and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, what are you going to do? You're going to swipe out of them. So if you want to keep your people with you and you feel like what you're saying, remember, you've slowed down enough, you know what your end goal is, and so you have something valuable to say that you want people to stick around for, then share what you're saying in print, okay? And I want to show you really quick how I do it. Can you guys see my video I just pulled up? Did it pull up or no? No? Okay, I need to stop share and switch my share. Can you see it now? Video? Cool. I purposely don't have sound on this, okay? Purposely no sound, but I'm gonna talk you through what happened here and where my head was. So last night I did a story sequence because I share on Friday what the meal plan is usually for the week. I share about my grocery haul. And after I did that on Friday, a lot of people asked me specifically about this recipe. So I already knew, guys, listen to your followers. Your followers will tell you. If they're all saying, hey, what's that, thing you're doing, then start talking more about that thing you're doing, right? And more often than not, again, it's not going to be your workout. It's going to be something like a crock pot full of vegan chili mac. People wanted this so bad. So I started out by saying crock pot vegan chili mac. So many of you wanted the recipe, so here it goes. This is letting people know, ooh, yeah, that recipe from Friday. I want to watch this because, I remember that she said that she was going to share it with us. I need this stupid thing to go away. Hopefully it'll go away soon. And then I have a big arrow. I just get that from going into like my settings up top, and I pull out my GIF, and then I type in arrow, and then I find an arrow that I like and I put it up. Sometimes I'll doodle it and draw it myself. So then I take them through it. Right now I'm sauteing veggie crumbles with onion, red bell pepper, and garlic. And then I put like the seasonings that I added in next. All of this stuff, you guys, I recorded, and then I saved all of them, and I came back. I then told everybody that Charlie bought me that crock pot for Christmas, and it has a saute setting so I can do it all in one pot. People ask me about this because they're like, oh, well, what is that crock pot? I'm offering even more value. This crock pot has a saute setting. Okay, then I shared with them the next thing. turn it to slow cook, and this is what I'm adding in. Again, you can watch this whole thing and you can get value from it and not leave my story, because the entire time I'm telling you what's going on. Okay, I told them how to cook it, the extra things I had to add in. Again, I just sometimes will do the doodle. My video, if you pinch and close in, you can change the size of your video. So that's why it has a little border around it. Same thing, I'm gonna pause this. If you pinch like a photo, you can pinch a photo and it'll change the size of it. And so same thing, I took a screenshot of the chili mac recipe from our weekly meal planner. And you guys, the weekly meal planner is for you to use too. So if you have a recipe you're using, screenshot it from the weekly meal planner. You know, when I screenshot it, I'll edit it so that I cut out, you know, like the time on my phone and all that stuff, and like my battery level, and I'll make it look like a clean picture. And then I put it in here, and all I do is I just adjust. So I just adjust the size of it and everything. Again, and then I put this here. I wanted people to know, shameless plug, I'm not really inviting. This is like a soft method of inviting, but I just want people to know this is part of our meal plan this week for my Love the Skin You're In series. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit pain points. Busy women learning how to make time for self-care. I like to show my busy teachers how they do it in the morning before they go to work. I talked about Olivia and her wedding planning. Kristen's a busy nurse. Leah is a radio DJ. Like, they're all doing it. These are my most recent girls. And I'm gonna pause it there. So I did that last night, you guys, on purpose. That was on Sunday night. People are sitting around on Sunday night and they're watching my story. I gave them value first. Notice that I didn't do the invite to my group first. Notice I gave the value first because I didn't want people to leave. I wanted them to see, oh, this chili mac recipe. I'm gonna watch it, watch it, watch it. And then all of a sudden, oh, transformations. I wanna look like that. I wanna look like that. That sounds like me. And I pull little bits of people's stories. You guys ask each other, hey, do you have transformation I can use this week? And ask each other little pieces of their stories. Do little interviews with your teammates, you guys, and figure out, you know, how you can attach pain points to other people's stories. Maybe you're not experiencing it firsthand, but there's somebody on our team that is, and so you can pull from that. Okay, so now it goes into today, and I am all about the crazy hair pictures. Wanted to make sure everybody was tagging me in them so that I can share them. I haven't done that yet, but I will go back and share that later. Oh, sorry, going back to the chili mac. I recorded all of that at one time. I finished recording it, and above each box, when you click on each box, there's like the trash can, but if you go in the top corner, there's a download. So in the top, I click download, I wait, the wheel turns, it saves it. So that's all I did, because I didn't want them to, like, you know, go away or whatever, and I was in the middle of cooking. So I recorded all those videos, clicked save on all, I think it was 4 of them, and then I put my phone to the side, finished cooking, and then when I was done cooking, I did everything I needed to do for my story to get it uploaded, okay? All right, so talking about Galentine's, giving everybody an update from the weekend, telling people why my hair looks like that, talking about that it's birthday week. Again, people like to see Frankie, so I have, like, I positioned myself so Frankie was nearby, right? Got my shameless plug for Unicorn Juice, and that it's gonna be time to work out soon. Letting people know that this week is packed. I want people to know I'm busy too, right? So I'm trying to relate with people. I want people to know what's going on in my life. And then letting people get what they really want, which is Frankie. And I put that he's holding down the fort, and then I'm about to bust out a strength push workout from 4 weeks of the prep. And then with my workout, you guys, what I do, because Instagram took music away. Who does not have music on their Instagram stories? It took it away from me one day. I don't know why, and it never came back. So I don't have access to music, and it, quite frankly, is maddening. But everything is figure outable. And so what I do is I do my clips. Today I did it in, I just use my camera on my phone, and I go to time lapse. So if you open up your camera on your iPhone, if you're an Android user, you're dead to me. I don't know how to even coach you or mentor you, truthfully. But if your iPhone, if you go all the way to the side, there's a time lapse setting, and it makes everything go like fast. And that's literally all I use. So I'll just hit time lapse. I'll do my whole workout. It's recording me. It ends up being like a 30-second clip. And then what I do from there is I take that to TikTok, because I can get music from TikTok, and I like sometimes have music on my workouts. So today I took it over to TikTok. I picked out a song, did that whole thing, and then I saved it and brought it back over to Instagram, okay? But if you have the music feature on Instagram, then just use it, right? But I don't, and so that's what I'm doing to kind of solve that problem. So I talked about what today's workout was called. Again, Frankie, Peep Him Helping. I do this stuff too to keep people on my story longer, because if they're like, oh wait, where is he? And then they have to look, right? It slows them down. I got my workout going. And then there's 2 clips of it today. In the second clip, I talk about a little bit more of my motivation, just that I'm feeling so much stronger since the top of 2020. Today was just more about inspiring people. It wasn't a call to action. I wasn't asking anybody anything. But I just wanted people to know that, like, since even just the top of the year, only a month and a half ago, I feel so much better. Showing people my coach life. Again, this is just to bring focus to what I'm doing, right? And then you guys saw that already. Okay, so let me hit stop on the share. Open up the chat here. So basically, you guys, I know today's just, when I'm telling you how to like make your story stand out, that's truly it. Because the majority, I mean, who here knows somebody that is selling something on social media and they're kind of just really icky and weird and you're never going to buy anything from them? Anybody know somebody like that? We all do, right? We all know that person, and we never want to be that person. But unfortunately, if all you're doing every day is just sharing your unicorn juice and your workout, and then you go to work and you forget to talk about anything else on your story for the rest of the day, you kind of become that person too. Not because you're trying to, but just because there's so many cracks in your day that we're not getting to be a part of you, like your journey. Someone's going to join you because of you. They're going to join you because of the qualities you bring to the table and what they relate to about you. They're going to join me for that exact same reason. We all have the same thing in common. Beachbody workouts, Shakeology, supplements, right? We all have the exact same products. So what sets you apart? And what's going to start setting you apart is the way you interact and show up in your stories on a day-to-day basis. Because truthfully, you guys, stories are one of the biggest spaces right now where people are viewing and spending their time. And it's such an incredible opportunity to spend your time there building those connections, so that when you invite somebody to join your group, it just comes off so naturally, right? And they already know what you're doing. They already feel like they know you and like you, right? And now you just have to invite them. So that's the end of the content I have for tonight. I'm going to hit stop on the record.